What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Durbin Compound. If you haven't met me already, my name is Devin Durbin. So today we are comparing two socket set kits. Some people might say this is apples to oranges, but this is what we're about to do. I just picked up this Tekton 45-piece 3/8 drive socket set from Meijer for $50. So a couple reviews ago, it's been quite a while. I got the Milwaukee socket set as soon as it came out, the metric 3/8 kit. If you haven't seen that already, I'll put a link here in the description. You can go check out the review first. A lot of people thought that I was fanboying it, and I was repping the brand pretty hard. I was pretty excited about the kit. I was pretty excited about Milwaukee hand tools. Now that I've had them and used them for quite a few projects now, and the tool kit's all dirty and well used, I know what I know what it's all about. So as far as the price point goes on that kit's $100, and you only get that 6 through 19 millimeter 6-point sockets, both deep and shallow. So the kit's not bad, but I think for $100, it definitely leaves a lot on the table. So that's why I'm doing this comparison today, is because a Tekton kit with both metric and standard sockets in the kit, 45-piece, versus the Milwaukee, I think it's 28-piece for double the price. It's looking like the Tekton kit might come out on top because of value, just purely because of value. So when it comes down to it, the sockets, whether or not the material they're made out of, what does it really matter if they're warranted for life? Everybody's doing a lifetime warranty, so anytime I break this socket, I take it back and I get a new one. So what is the big deal with the difference in the metals that's used, the hardness? Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It all equals out, because if I break something, I take it back. So I don't get wrapped around the axle on things like that. The Milwaukee set is cool, don't get me wrong, but when it comes down to the meat and potatoes, I feel like they're pretty much the same equivalent kits, and I think they have their value or their build quality is right about on par with each other. So there's two differences between these kits. So let's do a quick comparison. This won't be a long video, I'm not going to draw it out, but let's say the Ratchet, for instance. So you get more leverage out of the Milwaukee Ratchet. I do like the Milwaukee Ratchet. I forget what it is. I think it's a 72 tooth. I'll put it down here just so when I'm in editing, I'll research it, put it down here. The Ratchet is longer, you have more leverage. I like the feel of this Ratchet more. This feels cheap, like a Cobalt. I don't know if this is a white brand kit where they just make it for everybody and they just etch whoever's name on there when they're going through. This does have a release detent button. Do you ever really need that? Not really. That's why the Milwaukee one doesn't have it. I like their head on the Milwaukee a lot better. It has positive engagement. You can tell that paw has a positive engagement. This is kind of a clunky paw. So I don't know how many teeth are in this thing. They say they say this is a 72 tooth as well. It's a 5-degree swing on it. So yeah, it does have very fine teeth, but it feels like the paw in it to go forward or reverse is just clanky. So there's a lot to be desired here in this Ratchet. So I'm not really excited about this. It kind of just feels cheap, and as far as Milwaukee versus Tekton, I mean, Milwaukee takes it all day long. This Ratchet is definitely high quality. Let's roll into the universal joint, because they both come with the universal joints. They both come with 3-inch extensions and a 6-inch extension. So as far as the universal joint, so Milwaukee's universal joint is a little more rounded off, as where Tekton is that more square look, kind of looks like a Craftsman. Who knows who actually makes it? I'm sure you can research it online. I didn't, but it seems decent. It seems tight. I think that it'll hold up just as well, I mean, you can tell the Milwaukee flops around. This one barely flops around. You got to really put some effort into making it flop around, so it'll hold a socket well and in good position if you need it to. So, but that's brand new. We'll see how it holds up. They're right on par with each other there. The only difference in their extensions is the fact that one has a cross-checkered knurl and the Milwaukee has the straight knurl on it. So they're both equal quality. I don't see one lasting longer than the other, really. As far as their sockets go, the only difference between the two kits is when it comes down to metric. The Milwaukee goes from 6mm to 19mm, whereas the Tekton goes from 8 to 19. So you lose 2 sockets, or technically 4, 2 shallow, 2 deep, going with the Tekton kit. Not really a game changer. I mean, how often are you using the 6 and 7mm sockets? You're not losing out much. So, and when you lose those 4 sockets, shallow and deep, you gain the entire standard set. So this thing is pretty nice. When it comes down to 45 pieces, this thing's got it all. I mean, I would really like to see a better ratchet in the kit. I think that I would probably like some 12-point versus 6-point, but a lot of manufacturers are going to 6-point now. They just find that 6-point's a lot. You find 6-point a lot more often, and you wear out a 12-point because most bolts are 6-point. But if you run into a 12-point fastener or something along those lines, you're not going to get it off with the 6-point. So I guess that's just something I'm picky about, but you really don't need a 12-point. This kit is heavy. It's heavy for me to hold in my hand like this and display it. It has everything. So it has a lot of sockets in here. 45 piece for $50. I mean, you can't really go wrong on this kit. Now, does it completely knock Milwaukee out of the park? For the price, it does. Yes, it does. As far as its quality and all that, who really cares when there's a lifetime warranty? You can't really go wrong. So this kit closes up and is in a smaller package than the standard Milwaukee. So yeah, the Milwaukee has the pull-out tray and you can put it in your toolbox. I get it, it's cool. I love their case. Their case is cool looking. It has a carrying handle. But it's a lot bigger than this, and this comes with almost twice the tools. I think the Milwaukee kit's a 28 piece, whereas the 45. So you don't have exactly double, but this Tekton is really a better value, better buy than your Milwaukee set. So I'm not always a Milwaukee lover. I just made a review on a M18 Rover light. I don't like it. It's too bulky. It's too big. And it just doesn't, it's not that bright. The review's right here if you want to check that one out. I'm not a through and through Milwaukee guy. I own a lot of Milwaukee stuff, but some of their stuff just isn't that great. So I'm definitely here to tell you that, if you're in the market for a socket set, a beginner socket set, or maybe just a second one, this is probably my 10th socket set. I would definitely buy this again. This kit is awesome. Now, we'll see how it holds up in the long term. When we're talking 10, 15 years from now, we'll see how it holds up. I'll probably throw the ratchet away. I'll probably find a nice, decent ratchet that fits in this case. That's honestly what I'm probably going to do. And then, the Milwaukee holds its own. But when you're talking about price point, you're talking about somebody getting into a kit, $50 definitely buys me 45 pieces. Versus $100 buying me 20, or it's a 32 piece. Sorry, I stand corrected. It's a 32 piece metric set. So, the value is definitely there when it comes to the Tekton. I would definitely recommend it. Not saying anything bad about the Milwaukee. It's just their prices are a little too steep. And in this game and market, when you're talking about lifetime warranty and everybody's offering it, you know, you gotta go with, you know, some decent tools that don't cost a lot of money. These things will cost you arm and a leg if you want to invest in a complete kit. Let's say I got the metric and the standard. Well, there it goes, $200. I'm into it when I just can get this set for $50. Why wouldn't you? It's kind of stupid. So I hope you guys like the comparison. I would definitely, if you had $50 to spend, by all means, get the Tekton kit. If you got $100 to spend, get the Tekton kit. You know, it's just one of those things where the value just equals out better. And you know, Milwaukee's still got to work on their pricing because I think some of their items are just too expensive. So I hope you guys like my comparison. It was quick, down and dirty. I didn't put a lot of planning into it. I never do. This is a candid channel. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just trying to, you know, give some real life options for people out there looking into tools. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button if you like what you see. I'd love to see you guys around the channel. And as always, we'll see you next video.